Hello, it's your favorite sports thunk here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. All right, let's get into this NFL news. Guys, the Steelers have found their starting quarterback. Aaron Rodgers put pen to paper on a one-year deal. He signed a one-year, $13.65 million of passing the physical at the team facility on Saturday, sources told Adam Schefter. The deals include $10 million guaranteed and with incentives can reach $19.5 million. Ocho, let's go to you. What do you think? What are your expectations from Aaron Rodgers, and what will he give the Steelers?
Hey, listen, what he gives the Steelers, he gives the Steelers hope. He gives the Steelers organization, he gives the Steelers fans, he gives them hope. You look at the AFC North, it's dominated by Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and I'm not sure what the Cleveland situation is going to look like, but Flacco obviously has
inside track to start.
Yeah, inside track because he's been in the AFC North before, being in Baltimore and having success in Cleveland when he came in to start for Deshaun Watson when he got hurt. So Aaron Rodgers is better than everything that the Steelers have outside of him at the quarterback position, and that's no disrespect to them. That's no disrespect to Mason Rudolph and whoever else they have at the helm. But Aaron Rodgers, if he can show just glimpses of what he was once in the past, I think they will be okay. They have enough pieces around him. Obviously, DK Metcalf. I'm not sure who the running back is.
They got Austin.
Yeah, and, Austin the third, and
yeah, I'm not sure. And they got Robert Woods.
Oh, and Robert Woods is there. He has a nice supporting cast around him, and you need the supporting cast to be on point to make his job easier because Aaron Rodgers is not in a position again to elevate those around him. He's gonna need the help from those he's surrounded by.
What do you think, Judon? What do you think about this deal? You like it?
Oh well, I think the Steelers are like they get hurt from the greatness of Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin always gonna have them in contention, so they can't go and farm a quarterback from the draft. So right. I think this they best pick. Like there's nobody else out there. There's nobody else unless you want to make a trade, but nobody really traded no good quarterback like that. And so if Aaron Rodgers can come in and complete passes and be good in the locker room and do enough, they're going to be in the playoffs again because just how Mike Tomlin had that physical defense. They always going to have a great pass rush with Cam and TJ. Like, so it's going to be hard for them to be bad. They just can't mess it up on offense.
The team announced that Rodgers will wear the number 8. He wore the same number in New York after wearing 12 in Green Bay. Terry Bradshaw wore number 12, and though it's not officially retired, the team doesn't typically give out that number. I think Joe Green, 75. I think Ernie Stautner, 70. I think it's like 3 numbers that are officially retired, but I don't think they've given out like 32. Whatever the number is, there's another number that I don't think they've given out 58, 47 like Mel Blount, but there are certain, obviously from that Steel Curtain era in which they won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years, some of those guys have numbers, and even though they're not officially retired, no one I don't think has worn those numbers since. But I think Joe Green, Franco Harris, okay, Ernie Stautner, D tackle, his number's retired, 70. Joe Green, 75. Franco Harris, 32. Numbers not officially retired, but not reissued. Terry Bradshaw's 12. Troy Polamalu, 43. Jack Lambert's 58. Jack Ham, 59. Dermontti Dawson's 63. And number 86, Hines Ward.
Well, 86 retired?
It's not retired, but they haven't reissued it to anyone since Hines left.
Okay. Also, Aaron wore 8 at New York, but he was 8 at Cal too.
He was 8 at Cal.
Yeah, Cal. He was 8. So hopefully he can get some of that Cal Berkeley magic back in his system,
right?
To help those Steelers out because, listen, if
that's a very tough division at the top. Yeah, you got the Ravens and Cincinnati.
Yeah. If he doesn't play well, players get coaches fired, man.
Yeah.
And Tomlin could be on the hot seat for making, obviously he had him wait. He had the whole organization waiting. He's coming, and obviously he signed because they got minicamp coming up very soon, mandatory minicamp, and he wants to be a part of that, which is also a good thing. That's a good sign. That lets me know that he's buying in, as opposed to what he did last season out there in New York. So that's a good thing. But I think if they have a bad season,
you think Mike Tomlin on a hot seat?
Nah, excuse me. He just signed. Did he just sign an extension?
What that mean?
That don't matter.
What that mean?
They pay that out every year.
They was already talking about it last year.
Bro, the Steelers haven't fired a coach since '69. I was born in '68. I'm about to be 57. So they haven't fired a coach in 56 years. And you just said Judon, the man, hadn't had a losing season.
He never gonna have a losing season. He trained them so well. They play so hard for Mike Tomlin. He ain't never gonna have a losing season.
That's enough. That's enough. Huh? Just I don't
think it's enough because he the one that said the standard is the standard. Well, if the standard is getting to and competing for Super Bowl, they hadn't competed for a Super Bowl in a long time. Nobody thought, even though they make the playoffs, the Steelers are a threat. When was the last time that someone thought the Steelers would be a threat in the playoffs?
But when they had Polamalu, when they had Ike Taylor.
Man, Polamalu retired. He in the Hall of Fame. So he had to wait at least 5 years to get into the Hall. So we're talking about at least at the bare minimum 5.
Well, you asked when. That's when. When when their identity was their defense.
They hadn't been a serious threat since then.
But do you mean that mean change? Did that mean change? We ain't been a serious threat, or we have been so consistent that we just haven't got the right person. They haven't had a quarterback that's theirs since being.
Whose fault is that?
Theirs.
Consistency.
They had an opportunity. They could have, when they had Ben Roethlisberger and they thought Brand was going to play like Tom Brady. You know he wasn't, because he's been involved in too many crashes. He's taking too much punishment. So what you do is that what good teams do, what did Kansas City do? Draft a quarterback, and they still had one on the roster. What did Baltimore do when they had Joe Flacco? You were there. They drafted a quarterback. You see what good team? What did Green Bay do? Draft a quarterback. What did Green Bay do with Aaron Rodgers? Draft a quarterback. You see what everybody does? You don't wait. If you wait till your car break down side the road, it's too late. You're already stranded.
Okay, all right, but is that Mike's fault?
Yeah.
He making a.
So you don't think Mike got no say?
Yeah.
You don't think Mike got no say?
If he say, get us a quarterback, please get us a quarterback, and they don't get us a quarterback, how y'all gonna get mad at me?
And you
give Mike all that. You give all that Mike credit. Say he never gonna have him in a losing situation. So who drafted those players? The GM or Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, but
also, we don't know what go on in a war room, but you can't just say, well, it's Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin will want a quarterback.
Hold on, Ocho. Matthew, you mean to tell me a man that's been there damn near 20 years, he ain't got no say?
How long the GM been there?
Not as long as Mike Tomlin.
Have they? I ain't never heard of Steelers firing no GM or getting a new GM.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
you ever heard of them? I tell you what. You ever heard of them firing a coach?
No.
Exactly. So my thing is, when you there that long, you have some say. You have some say on the 53. You have some say in free agency, and you at night. How long Mike Tomlin been there? Coach Kyle retired in 2000. They won the Super Bowl in 5. He came back in 6, so he retired in 7. He been there 19 years.
Yeah.
There's no coach that's been anywhere for 19 years that does not have say. I refuse to believe that.
I don't know who
Hold on, Jude. I don't even think it's about say. I'm thinking about the relationship that Ben Roethlisberger might have had with upper management. With those,
he had a great relationship with Mike Tomlin too.
No, because if Mike Tomlin's a head coach. He's been in the NFL for a very long time.
Yes.
Mike Tomlin knows at some point I'm going to have to find your successor. At some point. You look at the landscape of the league. Those that didn't do it, look what's happening now.
Ta-da! The Steelers didn't do it.
That's why I think that the calling was above Mike Tomlin's pay grade.
I disagree.
Your starting quarterback, your franchise quarterback is getting paid more than the coach.
Yes.
I guarantee.
Dumb relationships might be a little stronger than even though the coach been there longer, he more tenured.
Yeah. I think.
Well, I mean, we paying this dude only $17 million a year. We paying this dude $50.
We understand that Mike Tomlin had a very strong relationship. He's always had a very strong relationship with his star players.
Yeah,
we know that. Based on the history, we know that Ben and when AB was there and a lot of these other guys, we know how he feels about his great players. But in order to keep this from happening to you, if you do not get a bridge, if you wait till somebody burn your bridge down, how the hell do you get to the other side? I gave you examples. Kansas City, Alex Smith was a Pro Bowl quarterback. What did they do, Matt?
They went and got
a Super Bowl.
Huh? But when you see that, they went and got what's buddy from Pitt? They went and got Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Man, stop playing. They got Kenny Pickett.